Sonic, the heart of your system.
I'm the Audio for Kit Guru here at CES 2020 with ASUS. This is the day before the show officially opens, so we're actually doing a lot of stuff under NDA, which is interesting because some of the gear over in the far corner of the room is AMD Ryzen chips powering laptops, which we have not yet been told about by AMD. So this is going to be a learning experience for us. The room is full of gear. We've got a case that looks very interesting, a number of high-end laptops. We've got AMD hardware. We've also got an awful lot of hardware that frankly I've seen before at places like IFA in Berlin, and there are some monitors that absolutely break new ground with monumental refresh rates and new levels of HDR. There's a huge amount to see, and we're going to pick out the real prime cuts for you. ASUS introduced the Helios case about a year ago. We saw it in black at Computex. This is the white version, obviously. I haven't reviewed the Helios. There have been various reviews of Helios, and they didn't go down very well. It was not considered to be a success of a case. And as a sort of a, frankly, mockery, is that the case comes with these straps so you can allegedly move the case around to LAN parties, which is absurd because it weighs a ton. However, it looks pretty in white, no argument, and we have some more white components, ASUS ROG Strix components. Product cards tell you what they're all about. So that looks pretty enough. However, it's not honestly of much interest. What is of deep interest is their brand new case, which they're calling the Z11. I'm calling the Z11, but it's around behind us. So this is the ROG Z11 or Z11 as we British will call it case, and this is a test for me. I've got jet lag. This case has a motherboard that is canted at 11 degrees from the horizontal, and you have to pick that word very carefully. Come in close, Luke, and we'll show them what's going on. That was the ASUS product manager dismantling his case. I was terrified about doing that in case I broke the blooming thing. Inside this ITX case, which also supports DTX, it is as compact as anything, and yet there is a huge amount of hardware inside. We've got the power supply down the bottom, which obviously in this instance is the ROG Strix 750 watt gold. ASUS naturally using their own power supply. This case supports 5 fans and is supplied with 5 fans, which is welcome. Many cases come with a fraction of their true fan amount. We've got 1 in the floor intaking, 2 in the rear exhausting, and that's kind of, depending on the orientation of the case, 2 in the roof exhausting. They've also got a liquid cooler there because you can, if you choose, go either AIO or custom loop. And then look at this. The inside of the case is innovative, and you can completely change the orientation. You can lay it flat. Now, I have to say, as ITX cases go, this is quite a big ITX case. It's a bit Fantexy in that respect. Nonetheless, when you lay the case down like that, it's not taking up a monumental amount of space. Stand it up, it's a reasonable size. Part of the cooling effect is thanks to the fact most of the case is made of aluminium. There are some bits of steel, various brackets and so on, but aluminium, as we know, shifts heat better than steel. That's a good thing. And it's also got decent airflow. So we have great hopes that this case will actually work as advertised. So the case is limited, in inverted commas, to ITX or DTX, but nonetheless, that's a proper system. But the really interesting thing is this motherboard being at 11 degrees from the horizontal. The idea is air can flow behind the motherboard to give proper cooling to the back of the board. Some boards, as we know, particularly ASUS ROG boards, have real heat sinks on the back. So cooling the back of the motherboard is a serious issue. It actually really helps performance and system cooling. This case is genuinely exciting, and I so hope that this second case from ASUS is a proper success, because their first effort, not so good. This is looking really promising. We've got a table full of mice. Now here's the truth of the matter. Luke and myself, we're not really mad keen on mice, not the fine points, but this, the ROG Chakram, this has got a stack of features. It is totally unbelievable. So come in, Luke, have a look. We've got all the connectivity you want. You've got Bluetooth and 2.4 wireless, so hence the pairing button and the switch to go from wireless to Bluetooth. We've got a DPI button, which we'll come back to in just a second. We've got a cover on the top which has RGB and a little logo shining through. We can pop off this cover to reveal removable switches, but the DPI button there is the really fascinating feature here. You can press and hold the DPI button for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then you can use the scroll wheel to change the DPI setting of the sensor. They tell us that one click of the mouse wheel is about 100 DPI. So you can basically set it to any number that you want, up to the maximum of 16,000 DPI, he says, reading the thing and just checking he's correct. You don't set it to an actual number. So you don't, for example, decide you're going to set it to 14,500. You click it up or down until it's as responsive as you want it to be. That is really neat. So under the cover we've got the USB Wi-Fi dongle, but in addition you can pop off these switches. The idea is, if you want to really give your mouse a good clean, you can do that. But we know switches are one of the areas that's prone to failure in a mouse. Here we have a repair kit for your mouse. And if you want, you can change the switches for different switches in a year or two, if you decide you want it to behave slightly differently. Another feature that might be of interest to you is it supports Qi charging. I haven't used Qi charging in years. It was a thing a while back and it's gone off the boil. But some people are mad keen on Qi charging. So yet another feature for the list. So this mouse has 2.4 wireless, and it's got Bluetooth, and you can plug in a wire to actually give a regular cable connection, and it's got a joystick on the side of the mouse, and you can change the DPI, and you can change... There's nothing it can't blooming do. And we're told the price is going to be less than $200, but north of $100. Pick a midpoint, call it $150, and that is not a solid price. But that's a hell of a lot of mouse for that sort of money. ASUS ROG Swift PG 43 UQ. Two significant things here, well, three significant things. ASUS would say the first significant thing is it combines 43-inch monitor with DSC, which is display stream compression. The two significant things from my point of view are that it is absolutely huge and there's no price given. And we've learned to be very wary with ASUS monitors, because some of those monitors we've seen that look absolutely amazing end up being brutally expensive. So I'm going to move from this interesting looking monitor to this monitor over here, which is truly unique. ASUS ROG Swift PG 32 UQX continues ASUS's monumental mouthfuls of monitor names. However, the key point here being is it's 32-inch and it supports 1400 brightness rating. It's got a whole new level of HDR, but the ridiculous thing is we can't show you on video. I'm now going to move the mouse so you see all the flames, which I have to say here in the room look really monumental. But here we go. And the camera's just gone bang, and we go back to some darkness. This is the absurdity of trying to show you HDR on regular video that's then going to go through YouTube and get massacred by the compression algorithm. But this monitor is IPS and it's got mini LED backlights, but the brightness rating and the HDR rating in the demos, just mind-blowing. The other headline features of this monitor: it supports G-Sync Ultimate, Adaptive Sync, and it is 4K. I hate to think how much this monitor is going to cost. If it's less than $2,000, I'll go out and buy a hat, and I'll then eat that same hat.
So this is Luke taking over from Leo when we're looking at laptops. So here we've got the ASUS TUF gaming laptops, and this is the A17 and the A15. So A to signal AMD powered versions. There will be Intel powered versions later. So the headlines here are lighter, bigger battery. What you're really interested in is these are the new Ryzen 4000 series APUs. So Zen 2 7 nanometers on the CPU and Vega graphics. So on the A17, big battery, even though it's lightweight, so up to 90 watt hours, plenty of battery life, even though it's a gaming laptop. So we're actually working in advance of the AMD details regarding the APU, but it is an 8-core, 16-thread part. I've already been given a warning that I'm not allowed to show Task Manager at this point, but I can confirm it's 8 cores, 16 threads. On the A17, it's up to 144 Hz, and there's faster screens to come. We've been promised by ASUS, so that's pretty cool. And as these are tough gaming laptops, they go through the military-grade durability testing, and they have a pretty cool feature, excuse the pun, for the cooling system, where they have effectively a dust rejection vent, so you can vent the dust out of a separate mechanism, or a separate slot, I should say, so that you don't clog your cooling fan and reduce your performance. So in regards to upgradability, on the 90-watt version, you've actually got two M.2 slots and two SODIMM slots. So this is easier to open. So rather than using a credit card or a guitar pick, once you've removed all the screws, you can actually use the pop screw mechanism. So it kind of comes off pretty easily. Good for upgradability, certainly. The key points here, high refresh rate panels. They're made of thin and light materials, so magnesium and aluminium alloys. Big battery, upgradability, and then you get GeForce graphics card, and obviously somewhat most importantly is the Ryzen 4000 APU in there, which is obviously the brand new Zen 2 7nm technology. So this is the ROG Zephyrus G14, and I'm now a DJ behind my deck, but this is effectively not an Ultrabook, because it's not going to be called an Ultrabook, but a thin and light workstation replacement type laptop, if you like. So the key feature here is the Ryzen 4000 APU from AMD, and that is Zen 2 7nm technology. ASUS actually has 6 months exclusivity on the chip here, because this is a kind of a TDP down version. So rather than 45 watts, it's actually 35 watts, and that was developed in collaboration with AMD, which is pretty cool. Graphics wise, we're talking up to RTX 2060. Very portable, 1.6 kilogram weight, and we've got this cool lighting feature on the back. So this is a screen that will allow you to put what you want on there. You can put the date or the time if you're in a coffee shop and you want to be friendly to those around you, or you can put your own custom skin on there. So rather than using something like a D-brand skin or a sticker to identify your own laptop, you can put your own GIF or whatever you want on there, and you can change that day by day if you're feeling in a different mood. Pretty cool feature, actually. This has been Luke and Leo at the ASUS booth here in CES 2020. Thank you for watching. Let us know what you think down below. What's your most favorite item here?